E1MN is a state agency partnership advancing employment first. E1MN includes the Minnesota Department of Human Services, the Minnesota Department of Education, and the Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development, working together to deliver a more seamless and timely employment support system. Welcome to this training on the Positive Summary for Work, October 2021. By the end of this training, you will be able to describe what the positive summary is, why it's important, and how it's used. You'll be able to access resources to develop positive summaries and create an effective positive summary. So, what is the positive summary? Well, the positive summary is a tool that helps highlight the person's positive attributes. It summarizes what people learned through the plan phase of employment. It promotes self-reflection and helps inform the person's job search. The positive summary reinforces person-centered practices. It has a number of practical uses, but we're going to focus on how it can help build a more seamless transition between services. It does this by providing a clear summary that anyone can pick up and understand at a glance. So how we approach the positive summary matters. The summary is not just an assessment or just another form to fill out. It's also definitely not about documenting the person's deficits. Rather, it's a dynamic tool that captures what you've learned from the variety of conversations, activities, and experiences completed during the plan phase. What we learn changes during the experience. The summary captures and highlights the end results. Why is the positive summary needed? Well, the positive summary was created based on input from people with disabilities, employment professionals, case managers, and others who said things like, I wish I didn't have to repeat everything I already said and did over and over again. I wish there was a way to know what's already been done with the person when they come to me. I wish there was a way to easily summarize things we did and learned in the plan phase so they could be shared with the rest of the person's employment team. The positive summary can make it easier for the person and everyone on their team to do their jobs, knowing what's already been done, avoiding the need for repeating and reducing duplication. The positive summary was created to support the E1MN vision to improve service coordination, make employment services easier, and to navigate and improve access to and equity. Who completes the positive summary? Anyone could use the positive summary to support their work, but waiver employment service providers will ensure the positive summary is completed for all people in the waiver employment development plan phase service. The provider will complete the positive summary with the person they're supporting and help them share it with the rest of their employment team. Who uses the positive summary? The positive summary is a living document that supports the person along the way. It should be updated to capture new insights and to support the person as they go. Waiver employment service providers use the positive summary to highlight and summarize positive learnings from the plan phase of employment development services. People getting waiver employment services use the positive summary to communicate their goals, needs, and strengths to their employment team and to guide their job search. They can also use it to prepare for a job interview as well. Waiver case managers use the positive summary to stay up to date on the person's progress and to help with identifying any additional supports needed for employment. Vocational Rehabilitation Services and State Services for the Blind, or VRS-SSB for short, counselors use the positive summary to help inform their job search. Family members, friends, or advocates can also use the positive summary to learn more about the person's employment goals, their interests, and how best to support them. Why should I use the positive summary? Well, using the positive summary makes it easier for the people you serve to communicate what they want and need. The positive summary is a person-centered activity that people can use to share their goals, their experiences, and what they want out of a job search. A well-crafted positive summary will mean that people don't have to keep repeating these details to different professionals. They won't have to repeat information, answer the same questions over and over, and redo activities they've already done. The positive summary offers a quick summary of what's important to the person, which can help inform their job search and set them up for success. It's helpful for both people who work with VRS or SSB and people who decide to look for a job on their own. The person can use the tool in the find phase to help guide their job search so it goes more smoothly and is more successful. It makes your job and the job of the person after you easier. The positive summary can help you pull key learnings from people's activities during the plan phase of employment development services. It's a way to review and update at the end of the plan phase, capturing key learnings and summarizing all the other tools and activities the person did, the things that are in their employment portfolio during the plan phase. It brings it all together into a summary. It starts to capture what the person wants in a job and helps make the transition between waiver employment development services and VRS or SSB simpler and more seamless. How do I create an effective positive summary? An effective positive summary stems from a conversation and reflection on everything you and the person you support learned during your time together. There needs to be communication and reflection back and forth so that it's useful in supporting the person in a way that's best for them. A good positive summary will help the next professional quickly see information at a glance so they can get a good idea of how best to support the person, and they can know what's already been done and learned, and they won't have to repeat or duplicate. They'll know what sorts of things will result in a successful job search. It will have enough information on it so that the next person can pick it up and have a good idea of what the person wants and doesn't want in a job, but not so much information that they won't read it. The positive summary should always be filled out together with the person you're supporting. You should not just fill it out on behalf of the person. It should be written from the person's perspective, not the professional's. That means using first-person language like what I want. As you write the positive summary, use short statements and words. The documents should be clear and concise. As you're working with the person to fill in their positive summary, think, if I picked up this summary, would I be able to reflect back and describe what's important and useful? Where do I go to complete the positive summary? In the DisabilityHubMN.org Work Toolkit, in the Supporting People on Waivers Hands-on Tools section, you will find an example of a completed positive summary, a desk aid with instructions, and a fillable PDF version of the positive summary that you can download. This is a good option if you want to print the PDF and fill it out by hand, or want to use a fillable PDF rather than MyVault. The fillable PDF will allow you to type right into the document, which can be shared electronically or printed. There's an easier way to complete the positive summary. When you log into your own MyVault account, go to the planning paths and use the activity called My Positive Summary, Work. It's in the Work path. This allows you to fill out and keep the positive summary in your MyVault account so it's there when you need it later. And it allows you to share it securely with the person through MyVault so they also have it in their own MyVault account. You can share the positive summary document with any contact through MyVault by clicking on the Share icon. The positive summary activity in MyVault is only available to people who have MyVault MN Employment Professional role. For more information on how to get this role, see How to Create a MyVault Account or contact the Disability Hub MN. Whichever way you choose to complete the positive summary, when it's done, give the person a chance to review the document before it's finalized and talk through any questions or needed changes. It's important for the person to have their own positive summary in their MyVault account so they can access it when they need it and can share it with whom they choose. If the person doesn't have a MyVault account, help them create one. Then help them share their positive summary with others on their employment team. If they can't share it themselves, you can share it with their employment team with a signed release of information. When should the positive summary be completed? People are ready for the positive summary when they have work goals and want to move on to finding a job. This matches up with the end of the plan phase, before people start the find phase. It's a great activity toward the end of people's time in the plan phase because it helps to review and summarize where they are now and what they want others to know about supporting their goals and job success. It may also be helpful to routinely update the positive summary as you go through the plan phase so that you don't forget things you've learned, but still plan to have a more comprehensive conversation at the end of the process to reflect and make any additions to the summary. So let's review what we learned. First, the definition. The positive summary is a tool created to summarize learnings from the plan phase of employment development services and is used to inform the person's job search in the find phase. Second, its importance. The positive summary is useful because it elevates key learnings from the plan phase. It offers a quick idea of what people think is important as they start their job search and helps smooth the transition to VRS or SSB. Third, the way it should be completed. Fill out the positive summary together with the person, share it with them through MyVault, and help the person share it with their employment team as they get ready to start their job search. And finally, the effectiveness of a positive summary will be shown when it's an encouraging, empowering document, when it helps reframe how we see the people we support and how they see themselves, and when others who see it get a clear, positive picture of the person and what they want and need in a job. Thank you so much for taking part in this training. Next, go check out the positive summary in your own MyVault account or in the Disability Hub MN's Work Toolkit in the Hands-On Tools section.